So it's been flipped on its head. Almost overnight, the US food pyramid has been inverted. You'll have seen RFK Junior announce this recently. The American government's little diagram advising people on what to eat has been vastly changed. Now, I tend to think the new one is better than the last one, but I think that's a distraction. I think far more interesting is to ask why we have this thing in the first place. This centrally planned policy, which is generic, doesn't take into account individual needs, individual biology, activities, etc., and which tends to get locked in for at least one administration, but more likely decades at a time. Now, the reality is that we are wrong about most things. You can go through the literature on any scientific topic and you'll find it progresses largely by deciding or realizing that it was wrong about something. Often something it was very confident about. Part of the problem we can see in economics. Centrally planned economies fail, essentially because it's up to one committee to try and decide what millions of people should do. That always fails. Economies that allow lots of people to experiment, to learn, to fail, and then to try again and find better and better ways are productive economies. I think the very same applies to the food pyramid, regardless of what is in it. I think a lot of what this does is to crowd out innovation. It crowds out alternatives. It says, here is the official, central, simplified, generic guide on what everyone should eat. And that signals to all kinds of independent players that perhaps it's not worth bothering with experimenting and coming up with our own alternatives. Of course, it doesn't explicitly do this, but I think that's often the outcome. So I think that the debate about precisely what is in this food pyramid is misdirected, not useless, but more useful is to ask why on earth we have this centrally planned, nuggety, probably oversimplified, committee-designed advice on what we should eat, and is it crowding out far more useful independent thought?